Welcome back, Heroclix fans. Today we're going to take a look at the Guardians of the Galaxy Heroclix starter set featuring Groot, Drax, Raccoon, Star-Lord, Ronan, and Gamora. We're going to open it up, take a look at some of the content, take a look at the dials, and take a peek at the map, and tell you what I think about it. I'm telling you right now, I know it's going to look pretty good, and let's take a look at the back really quick here so we get a little bit more of the details. You're going to get character cards, you're going to get miniature figures, objects, terrain, powers and ability card, rule book, two-sided map, and 2 dice. Let's open it up. Alright, so here we have it opened up and here's all the content. Let's start on the right side. We have our double-sided map. I'll take a peek at it a little bit later. We have 4 objects, 2 light, 2 heavy, 2 ultra, and then 2 white objects. I'm not sure exactly what those are for. I don't really know. Special, possibly a WizKids basketball and like a sledgehammer. I'm not really sure what. I don't know. Anyways, then we have water terrain and we have blocking terrain markers here. We have our 2014 rule book back there, and we have a powers and ability card. This is really critical for new players to learn all the powers, but also, you know, they keep on updating it. I don't know if that one's much different than the latest version, but it's nice to have the updated versions. Plus, we also get some ultra heavy objects there as well, which is always cool. We got some 2 black and white dice back here, and we have our 6 character cards: Gamora, Rocket, Drax, Groot, Star-Lord, and Ronan. And you can see the comparison here. Like, we have Groot, that's kind of how tall he is, compared to Raccoon. It's kind of different when you see him. Get these dice out of the way. You can see the size comparison. And he's a giant and he's a tiny size. So it's pretty cool. We have our 6 character cards below. And we're going to go right into the dials and I'll let you know what I think about them. But so far, this is pretty good. Guardians of the Galaxy is a highly anticipated movie, and a lot of people love these characters and are very excited for the set. The movie set as like this, the comic set coming out next month, and the movie. It's great. If you're looking to get a starter set, I have them on my website, glasscabinet.hobbies.com. Let's take a look at the dials. So here we have Star-Lord. Take a look at the sculpt here. Obviously movie version here. Run shot, psychic blast, toughness, special damage. Let's take a look at the character card. We have Guardians of the Galaxy, Pirate, Ravager, Soldier. 4 traits. Let's, keywords. Then we have improved movement for elevated and hindering. We also have a trait. Once per game, give Star-Lord a free action and choose an unoccupied square of clear terrain within range and line of fire. When you do, Star-Lord can use Pulse Wave this turn as if he occupied that square. So that's pretty cool though, because actually, once per game, you can basically target a square 6 away from you and then do a Pulse Wave once per game, which is pretty cool using the same stats you have there. So, and it can be done at any point on your dial. And that's not bad at all. And you could modify your stats and get that as well. So that's actually really, really cool. I think another character in this set also has this. You could, you know, use your perplexes, get some in, well, not enhancement, because enhancement doesn't work with Pulse Wave. I don't know. But actually, you know, that's interesting, because actually enhancement never works because the person next to you would be in Pulse Wave range. But since they would be out of Pulse Wave range, that's interesting. I'll have to look at that a little bit later. But if you guys know if that would work, that would be interesting, right? I mean, because normally when you're in Pulse Wave range, everyone next to you is affected by Pulse Wave, so all their powers are ignored. But since this one would not be, because it's done 6 squares or wherever away, your Pulse Wave range would probably be not in Star-Lord's, would not be affected by it, because you half your range when you Pulse Wave. So you could target 6 squares away, Pulse Wave, which would be a 3 square radius, because you half your, then yeah, interesting. I don't know, that's pretty cool. We also have also special movement and power enhancement, and we have our special damage power here Friendly characters adjacent to Star-Lords that share a keyword with him can be given a non-free action even if they have 2 actions. When they do, deal that character 1 unavoidable damage after the action resolves, and do not remove the tokens from that character at the end of your turn if this power is lost or ignored. So that's kind of cool. It kind of gives you the ability to keep on attacking even when you have 2 tokens. But when you have the 2 tokens and you attack, you take a click of damage, like Colossal Stamina. So that's kind of cool. For the points, that's really good. And let's take a look at the dial really quick here. So it jumps up there. That's our sidestep, or no, empower with enhancement. So it's going to help out your team quite a bit. Drop that down. And pretty short dial, but he's only 75 points. The powers that he does have are going to help you out quite a bit, and I think this is a pretty good Star-Lord. Let's take a look at Rocket Raccoon. Most people's favorite character for the Guardians, but I know a lot of people like a lot of the other characters, but this one is a fan favorite for sure. Animal Guardians of the Galaxy, improved targeting and ignores characters and hindering terrain. Stealth, run and shot, sidestep. We also have a special power. 2 big guns. Give Rocket Raccoon a power action and he may make 2 ranged combat attacks as free actions. That is really cool. Basically, it's kind of like a ranged flurry, and it's really, really cool. Obviously, it works a little bit different since you had a power action, but like the benefits here, you could get your perplexes up, you could get your enhancements up, and he could technically shoot 1 time for full damage, and then the second attack would be -1, because every attack you make with that character is a -1 to attack, besides flurry. Flurry, you keep your full damage. But with the new rulings, like if you were to like Black Talon, if he was to mind control Rocket Raccoon to make an attack, he could make the first attack for full damage, the next attack would be -1, and then any other attacks in that turn would be also a -1 from the next one. So it's so that you don't get a bunch of attacks with full damage. It kind of limits the free action shenanigans that was going on a lot last year and the remaining of, earlier this year. See any more specials? Nothing there. But let's take a look here. So we have our stealth, 7 range, 2 targets, tiny size, meaning he can be carried for free by a standard character. That's really good. Also, he is +1 to defense from a ranged attack. So from range, he's an 18. That's pretty good. We have willpower and we have stealth. Let's take a look at the dial here. Energy explosion, run and shot energy, run and shot with our 2 guns. Drops off a little bit, and he's KO'd. Very short dial. All the Rocket Raccoons in the movie set, from the base set, the starter set, and the chase, are really short dials, but they pack a lot of power in those points. And they're all really, really good and hard to hit. This is probably the easiest Rocket Raccoon to hit. But he also provides a lot of potential to deal a lot of damage with that 2 guns power. You can pair him up and just straight do a lot of damage that way. Let's take a look at Gamora. This one is actually a really, really good figure as well. Assassin, Guardians Galaxy, martial artist, deadliest woman in the whole galaxy. Give Gamora a free action and choose an opposing character. When Gamora attacks the chosen character, modify her attack and damage by +1. Gamora can't choose again until that character is KO'd. So it's kind of like you're marking the character to get a bonus. But her stats are already really good with a 9 movement with charge, precision strike 11, 17 super senses, and 3 damage special damage. We have Indom. So if you look at that, if she's targeting the character she marks, she has a 12 attack and 4 damage. for 100 points. She also has a 75-point starting dial as well. We have also plasticity and sidestep as a special power on movement. We don't see it yet. Let's take a look at that special on damage. She has close combat expert. When she does, if Gamora hits the opposing character, modify one of that character's combat values by -1. That's really good. Nerve damage. This character is extremely, extremely good. Let's take a look at the dial really quick here. Okay, so this is plasticity and sidestep with also that close combat expert. This is a really good click here. You could sidestep next to them and then close combat expert with precision strike. That's brutal. And she's a really good character to make the first attack. With the nerve damage, you could negative their defense if she hits, which is something that you might want to consider. Let's take a look here. Some more of that same power. This is the start of the 75 points. You still get all those good powers for 75 points. You just don't have to charge. Oh, we get some prob in there. Wow. Look at this. 8 clicks. That's not bad at all. This Gamora is really good for the points. 100 points or 75, she's very playable. Okay, so we have Drax the Destroyer. Now, I want to go cover this one. Drax is actually the Target exclusive figure, other than the one in the set. So you can get this Drax in the starter set, or you can get the other Drax in the movie set from Target. Star-Lord, the common, is in both. Rocket is a common in both, and Gamora is a common in both. Let's see here. Groot is the hobby exclusive. So you can get Groot out of the starter set, or you can get Groot out of the hobby box set. So these are the 2 exclusive figures. This one's from Target. This one's from the hobby, your comic shop. So other than those, you can only get them in the starter set. So just update. And then Ronan is also in the base set. So you can get him out of the comic or Target set. Let's cover Drax here. He's actually pretty nasty as well. 125 points, so he's up there. So let's take a look here. We have Guardians, Warrior. He also has the trait with the Pulse Wave, so I'm not going to cover that, but that's really good. All these are standard powers. Let's see if he has a special. He has no special powers other than his trait. Let's take a look at the dial. It looks pretty nasty here with 11 damage, 11 attack, super strength with exploit. He's coming in there, he's got impervious with and dom. He's gonna be brutal up close, of course. All right, so we're losing our move and attack. Oh, well, we have a sidestep. So we still have sidestep with close combat expert. Now that he's up close, he's bringing the pain. And now we have invincible with blades and exploit. That's a really nice combination. I love blades and exploit, but 3 damage is still solid. But with blades and exploit, you don't ever feel bad at doing blades because you know you're gonna get something through. Then we have flurry blades and exploit. Oh goodness, that's beautiful. Flurry blades in invulnerability with exploit. Take a look here. Dial's kind of tough. Super strength in dom with invulnerability, close combat expert. The stats here on damage are kind of low, but you have modifier. You know, you have the close combat expert and you have super strength. So I mean, you really can. His stats, some are low, but he also has the potential to boost him up with those powers. And this guy's hard to turn, but he KOs at 7. So kind of a short dial for the points, but he packs a really big punch for those clicks. On every one of those clicks, he is very dangerous up close. And he still has 6 range, so you can still do some pop shots. Alright, so we have Groot here. This is another popular character along with Rocket Raccoon. Let's take a look at the dial here, and this is pretty good. We have no range, which is, you know, pretty normal for him. He's a giant. He's 100 points or 75 points. He starts off with lines of fire, drawn to an opposing character within 6 squares of Groot, ignore hindering terrain. So that's pretty good. That's the special for movement here. Then we have some standard powers up top here, and we have this special defense power. He's got defend and invulnerability, and adjacent friendly characters can use toughness. So let's just do the traditional tag team here of Rocket and Groot. That makes Rocket an 18 defense. Now he has toughness. So this Groot is going to be really nice to pair him up with other characters, because Rocket now can get defended up to an 18, and he has toughness. So it's going to make him even better. And then let's take a look here. That's pretty much it for the special powers. Let's take a look at the dial. That's the 100-point dial, but that's pretty good. And let's see. And literally, just one click in, we start at our 75 points, which is charge, super strength, and vulnerability, close combat expert. The thing is, you pay that extra 25 points and you get that defend to defend your team. So that really is a choice that you really want to make. If you don't want to use the defend, you probably want to play him at 75 points. But if you want to defend everyone at 18, you got to play him at 100, which I think is worth it. But it's also dependent on your game plan for this team. You also have your special for movement. He's staying really solid here. All the stats are pretty much staying the same. Now we got blades with shape change and toughness. Here we go, some more. He stays really consistent and KOs. I would say Groot here is pretty generic. He is a giant, and he has the defend on his top click. But other than that, I would say he's probably, you know, just average. But for the points, though, he's not bad. For 75 points, he does provide. And you have to look at the dial, and it is in Dom as well. So he has the ability to do quite a bit for the points and deal quite a bit of damage. But I think I would prefer to play him at 100 and get that defend of 18 and keep everyone with high defense. And the cool thing is, before we go, because he is a giant, he can carry someone of smaller size. So he can carry Star-Lord. So Groot can carry Star-Lord. And because Rocket is a tiny figure, he can be carried for free. So technically, Groot can carry all 3 of these characters. So Groot is carrying Star-Lord as a standard carry, and then Rocket could be literally like tagging along on Groot. And so now they're walking around with 18 defenses, and it's pretty nice. So that's just something to look at for. It's pretty cool. And let's finish this off with Ronan, and he is a monster click here, so we really want to cover him before the end of this. So let's take a look at him. He is Cosmic Kree Warrior, improved targeting, ignores characters and hindering. Ronan's powers cannot be countered at the full 300 points. So if you play him at 300 points, he cannot be countered. Also, there's no special powers on this top part of the dial. Let's take a look here. We do have a special on defense, impervious, and energy shield deflection. And we also have a special damage power. During the beginning of your turn, Ronan can use regeneration as a free action. So let's take a look at this, and he is really powerful. So right here, you can see we are rocking the energy shield deflection with impervious. So that's a pretty good starting click with Running Shot, Pulse Wave, 5 damage. His powers cannot be countered at this point level. He is pretty brutal. So let's take a look here. Just the attack goes down and the damage goes down, but we still have our nice defense. And continue to go. Now we have Flurry, Precision Strike. Now this is the start of our 200 point value, so we lose the ability to have our powers not countered, but he still looks pretty good. impervious, precision with a 10, 18, energy shield deflection with impervious. That's going to be really hard to hit from range. There we go. Number 5. Number 6. And this is number 7, the start of our 100-point dial. And that is Charge, Super Strength, Invincible, and Close Combat Expert, which is 11 attack though. This is not bad for 100 points. With 10 range, single target, and Dom, that's pretty good. Our attack stays the same. Our defense goes down though. Our defense does go down. Now we jump up to a 12 attack, but we only have 2 damage. You're probably going to want to just go in for the charge kill with a heavy object. But from range, your defense will be pretty hard to hit since it'll be 16 energy shield deflection. But up close, he's soft up close. Our defense goes back up, but now we have some Pulse Wave with a low attack and our regeneration click. More of the same. And we KO. 1 click of KO. 1 click of KO. This Ronan is actually really, really powerful for the points. 300, 200, or 100. I think you can't go wrong. I actually prefer if you probably play him at 300 or 100. The 200 point seems to be missing a little bit. Seems to just be not enough clicks and just a lot of points. But really good. I like this one. 100 points is probably really, really playable. So I recommend probably doing that because you can get him in a lot more teams. And you could pair him up with Groot. And let's just take a look at that 100-point dial so you can see where he would defend up. We're not going to be able to carry because Ronan is a flyer, but that's okay. But if you look at it, they're next to each other. Ronan now has an 18 defend with invincible. I mean, he's pretty brutal. That is pretty brutal. For 200 points, you can play this. That's not bad. It's not bad at all. Let's take a look at the map.